あ、
乾杯。
ずるい。私も乾杯する。起きちゃったんですか？
久々に飲むワインは思ったより甘い味がした。
Yo, this episode of Farming Life in Another World was so jam-packed. I don't think so. One of the things that I do as I'm watching the anime is, I will passively I'm watching, I'll be passively typing some notes. And like this episode, I have a whole document just littered with all the different stuff that happened. So I think I'm gonna work. I'm trying to figure out how to start. I think let me just go from the top. I think let me actually, you know what? let me start from the bottom. I started from the bottom. Now we're here. So let me start from the bottom and just say this. I think that now that the Great Tree Village is officially established, I think the story really starts now. Several years have passed, and Machio has now spent his time gathering all these different folks who have kind of flocked to him, and because they flocked to him, they gathered other people of their kind and things like that. So he's now has like a family and a village that he's now the mayor of. So I think now at this point, the actual story starts going forward. And I think one of the very notable things that's going to kind of kick off the story is the fact that he's caught he's caught wind of, or he's caught the attention of two specific factions or two specific groups of people in this world. The effing Demon King and the Demon Lord's army, and two, whoever the leader of the Wyverns or the dragons are. And I think that's going to be very important because he's not only just gathering a village of like random human, villager nobodies. He has now gathered like the leaders of vampires and like high-ranking noble vampires and kind of like their confidants and like the people who follow them. He now has a clan of ogres, right? Who are like, they basically are subservient to the vampires. So, like, they serve the vampires, kind of like how lichens or werewolves do, but instead in this world it's like ogres serve vampires. So now he has two high-ranking vampires, one of which is his wife in Lou, the other Lou's sister Flora. Now he has this this established like little small army of ogre maids, right? Then he has angels who now came. The angels now have brought, basically like really high-ranking angels, it seems, who are like, not army angels, but they're like Valkyries. Like I would call them like angel Valkyries. He now has a few lizard men under his thing, who I'm sure can bring in other folks that they know, family, stuff like that too. On top of that, he has Zabuton the spiders. He has Kuro and all the Inferno dogs. So he has this, like, he's building up like a very well established, I don't want to call it army, but like a powerhouse village. And on top of anything else, he now has the two factions he's caught the attention of. He now has them kind of shaking in their boots because he defeated somebody who typically takes out armies. Even the head of the dragons was like, yo, can I take this dude out? He's like, nah, he would have pierced you, dude. So now basically this village, this powerhouse village, is now being led by, he doesn't view himself that way, but really he's this village is now being led by someone who's like, can F the world if he wanted to, you know what I mean? So like, I think that now the fun starts with him getting like the attention of the world. And then on top of that, this dude, right, it doesn't seem crazy to him or even to us because that's where he got planted. He just kind of went with the motions. But the reality is, to the world, this dude who's so strong to take on a super powerful thing decided to pick the Forest of Death as his home. Like, goddamn, you know what I mean? Like, again, that's how it looks through outside, people who don't know him, who don't know the situation. To the outside perspective, it looks like some crazy powerful dude picked the worst part in the world and said, this is my home. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. With that being said, I freaking love it. You know what I mean? I thought this episode was this was a like 10 out of 10 fantastic episode. So let me kind of start from the top and I'll work my way down for the things that happened. I'll kind of give my opinion on some of the different events that occurred this episode. So first off, we we got brought back this episode with the Wyvern attack. The Wyvern attack kicked off a musical intro for it, which was the music was fire. Literally, no pun intended there. Machio found out that his magic tool could turn into a spear. He threw the spear several times at the dragon. It pierced the dragon straight through. Hella power there. He took the dragon down. Everybody is like, wow. He then asked, can we eat it? I thought that was hilarious. They did. Apparently, dragon meat's pretty good in this world, so I thought that was cool. We then got to see the demonic kingdom, the Demon Lord's castle. And apparently, the Demon Lord didn't send the dragon specifically. I think the dragon was acting of its own volition, but they did catch wind that somebody defeated a dragon, and one of the 4 generals of the Demon Lord's army, he quit. He walked out. He's like, we don't have the budget to deal with somebody of this nature. I thought that was hilarious and really real life, right? Like, someone's like, yo, I'm out. I've been stressing. I've been working nonstop, and now we gotta deal with it. I can't. I'm gonna go live in some remote village. Y'all be good now. We then saw the dragons, and I was like, oh, the dragons can talk. Apparently they can, and there's a leader of the dragon faction. I thought that was really cool. Then we transition into winemaking fan service, which I really, really loved. We got some, if you're a feet person, we got some serious anime feet action here. Loved it. We got to see Tia and the elf girls, and then eventually Lou and Machio himself, really go and make some wine, which I thought was really cool. I was like, okay, wine existed in this world of race, so that was really cool. We then got to see the god that, messed up his life and reincarnated him. Apparently his daughter is the god of agriculture, and she was scolding the crap out of her dad. And mainly she was mostly pissed that the depiction of her based on Machio not knowing what she actually looks like, because he didn't meet her, is like an old man. So I thought that was hilarious. We find out that apparently the farming tool that he gave him is a tool that's multi-use, but he bestowed on him a replica of a holy lance. We found out that apparently this holy lance, which is why she was also mad, actually drains the life force and mana out of its user. But apparently, based on Machio, the way that this god made him, is that his life force just constantly keeps replenishing. So yeah, he's depleting it, but then he's also getting it replenished at the same time. So the god's like, yo, we good here. So I thought that was hilarious. We had a new villager caught by the dogs, by Kudo and the dogs. It ended up being Lou's sister. Lou's sister's actually a researcher, and her name is Flora. She ended up really liking the village and the miso, and it ended up just piquing all of her research, kinks. And she ended up leaving and then coming back a month later with an ogre army of maids. Apparently, like I said earlier, the ogres, they served the vampires. So now he has an ogre maid army, and he taught them all how to cook and stuff too, which I thought was really, really cool. During this time, Tia started to feel a little worried. She was like, yo, I feel really outnumbered here. So she ended up going and bringing back 3 other, like I said, Valkyrie-type angels and 3 lizard men. So now she has her clan of folks who serve the angels, and then we all have these different, underlings, now of plans as well. With that being said, the head of the elves, I forget what her name is, the head of the elves, she went and they scoured the forest, and they brought back every single elf that was living around the forest. And they all looked to Machio, let him know, you're going to need to put a baby in all of us. We need to repopulate. We also found out that apparently none of the men survived whatever calamity affected the elves. Apparently the men, they just died. They just don't exist anymore because they were all just women at this point. And then we pick a name at the end, and Zabuton comes up with the name, like, yo, Machio, look at the tree, bro. And they end up naming the village, the Great Tree Village. And then they all have a huge party. And I thought it was hilarious how Kudo and the dogs got really drunk, And then, Tia and Lou, the original 3, they share a really cute moment of each other. So we know that at least this night specifically, we know our boy Machio got lucky. All right, holy crap, I hit the 10-minute mark. All right, this episode was amazing. Let me know what you guys thought. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.